All right, Aquarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal astrology forecast for October 5th through the 11th. My name is Athen. So a lot is happening this week. Actually, it's almost like the aspects from last week didn't go into effect, and they decided to join the mix this week. So there's a lot going on. Astrologically speaking, there's obviously easy aspects and more challenging ones, which I'll break down and talk about. But if you have any questions, please comment down below. This is, of course, for Sidereal astrology. So if you're new to this type of astrology, do check the description because your sign might be different and you'll want to make sure you're watching it for the appropriate sign. So Aquarius, your ruler Saturn still sextiling up to the North Node, now forming a harmonious aspect up to Mercury, who's going to be going over that North Node direct. So what does this mean? So first of all, with Mercury retrograde, over the past few weeks, you've probably been reflecting on the deeper aspects of life, which is the 8th house, beginnings, endings, your fears in life, which is always a healthy thing because it's about transformation and healing. But whatever the degree of that, it's about seeing the truth, and it could even be conveying the truth, sharing it. But all that's been reflective. It's been more internal lately, and now that energy starts to move forward. But there's a lot to be learned about that because Mercury is going station direct right over that North Node. So over the past 2 years, it's been the theme for you to, get deeper, open, vulnerable, speak the truth, etc. And all of that is in a harmonious aspect from your ruler Saturn this week. So there is this patience about it. There's this tact about it, long-term approach to it. And there's a lot to learn about these things as Mercury goes over the North Node. Because the North Node is about the future. And it's very much about learning because it's the new stuff, but Mercury is the practical, helps us see it on a very tangible level. So it's also about your self-expression in many ways too, that maybe you've been reflecting on that you'll learn about, and that energy will move forward as well. So with that, there's also Jupiter trining up to Pluto as a general energy this week. This is going into next week also, and this is about relationships mostly. There's been a lot of activity here in your 7th house, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, opportunities, and you might very well see some more opportunities this week, maybe more so next week when this goes exact. And it's all about positive change. It's all about the change that is happening in your group sector, your organizations, which has been Pluto in your 11th house, changes with your ideals, your visions for the future. And now there, could be some more things shaping up, or just existing relationships starting to flow. There's again an 8th house element to that. Pluto's about the depth, the truth, transparency, all getting brought into it very positively so into that 7th house. And yeah, with Jupiter ruling your 2nd house too, this can maybe even mean some positive changes with the financial, material, or the simple enjoyments of life. So those are the general energies of the week. As you can see, those are mostly the blue things here that I've talked about. Now there is the challenging aspects this week, and those are split up into 2 halves. There's the first half challenging aspects, which is going to be Mars opposing up to Neptune and the Sun squaring up to Pluto this earlier part of the week. So with this, there is this uncertainty, as there has been with all these fast-moving planets opposing up to Neptune. So now with Mars, which is the planet of our directness, our assertiveness, and for you, your career and your communications, having this uncertainty about it in the beginning of the week. But it's good. All of these aspects, in this case, Pluto is showing you how to have faith, trust, how to go with the flow with the relationship stuff, how to go with the flow with yourself, your goals, your ambitions. And the more you are open to relaxing into the uncertainty, unknowingness of the future, then the more your drive will actually come forward. And this could have a lot to do with your career and your communications. And it's all happening in the sphere of those one-on-one connections. So assertiveness is great, but it's a kind of assertiveness where if it's coming from compassion, it's coming from the heart center, then that's a really good way of working with this kind of transit. Now, the Sun squaring up to Pluto does signify that there is positive changes happening. Along with those positive changes, there is also this more challenging aspect with your relationship. The Sun does rule your 7th house, and with Pluto, it does signify that there is some aspect of that is needing that extra attention. And again, it might be relating to the organizations or groups or ideals, And so taking it nice and slow, being constructive with it, being open to connecting from non-attachment, which is the key emphasis of Pluto, then again, it can keep it very grounded, and a lot of this 8th house stuff, which is again about the openness, vulnerability, comes more naturally because you're open to it. You're open to change. You're open to change in relationships, open to seeing the truth, sharing the truth, but in that heart-centered way. And through that, then it does create a good solid foundation for the rest of the week. So then over the weekend, we do have a couple other aspects that are of the challenging nature. Venus squares up to your ruler Saturn, and the Sun opposes up to Uranus. So with that being said, you know, it's your ruler Saturn, so it's not the worst thing when a benefic squares up to it. So here, it's with all of this new stuff that's going to slowly start to shape up for you in the career front now, which is going to be about assuming more responsibilities. It's going to be about patience. It's going to be about working hard with that Saturn in that 10th house. Here, when it comes to those one-on-one connections, when it comes to home and family matters, when it comes to travel, expansion, those kinds of things, since Venus rules those parts of your chart, over the weekend, take it nice and slow. It's nothing new. This has been an ongoing transit, actually, since Venus has been retrograde and direct all over this part of the chart. But with the square, it does signify that this is the final integration of the importance of seeing the long road and the patience when it comes to really building long-term relationships, at home with family, and also with the you know, adventurous and philosophical aspects of life. Now, Sunday going into Monday, the Sun does oppose up to Uranus. So this is about keeping both feet firmly on the ground. A lot of times Uranus makes us feel quite erratic, but this is your secondary ruler. So what I'm getting more of a sense of for you is keeping the balance really between the material aspects and the non-material, the 8th house, this Sunday. So if you are feeling like there needs to be revolution, there needs to be some sort of change so you can have more freedom and independence in the financial sector, well, that's great, but keep both feet on the ground because it is Uranus in opposition, and really focus too on the importance of what's really meaningful in the deeper aspects of life along with those material ones, and that'll help create that balance there. So the emphasis for you Aquarians is certainly going to be, for all of us, that Mercury going direct, a lot of those 8th house things moving forward, your self-expression starting to move forward, and then Saturn forming those aspects up to it, supporting it, and those special considerations involving both those 8th house things and your relationships, which does have a lot of positive changes happening this week. So Aquarius, have a good one. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, please let me know, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.